else to have to go through it alone. Well, our friendship soon turned into a working relationship, and Gwyn offered me so many opportunities that I could never have imagined in the past, and she let me realize my own dreams. She vowed to back me no matter what it was that I wanted to do, and she also believed in my ability to succeed in whatever I chose to do, and I learned so much from her about the business, about true friends, and also about myself. Now, that is not to say that there wasn't a learning curve with Gwyn when I first got to meet her. And it's not to say that she didn't drive me absolutely crazy at times, which she did. Her energy was explosive, and once during a meeting between the two of us, when she was trying to explain to me her big plans for world domination, she looked at me and she started laughing. She goes, "Oh my God, Erica, your eyes." And I was looking at her like this, who is this woman? What planet did she come from? She goes, "Your eyes, you think I'm crazy, don't you?" And I was like, "I do. I agree. Finally, we agree on something." And I told her that she was like fireworks, and that's how I describe her all the time. It's like she'd have one idea, boom, up in the air. Then it would shoot off into 5 others, then 5 others, and before you know it, the entire sky is full of sparks, and I don't even know where we began or what we were talking about to begin with. But that's exactly who she was, and she laughed it all off, and she promised to try to rein herself in every now and then, and just set off one bundle of fireworks at a time. Let's face it though, proceeding with caution was just not Gwyn. She charged through life with a purpose and without regret. She had no fear, no negativity, and nothing that could stand in her way, and she absolutely believed that. Gwyn, one night I was at dinner with Dawn and Connie McLeod and Gabriel and Gwyn and myself, and she told us a story that night, and she said that her mother, Ona, always said that Gwyn had one switch, that was on and off. And she said that when she played as a kid, she would play so hard, just run and play until she absolutely had nothing left. And she would fall over, face first in the grass, or at a neighbor's house, or God knows where, and Ona would frantically be calling all the neighbors to find out where her child was. And this happened all the time. And I think those of you that knew her in her adult life, she was the same way. She never stopped. I don't know how many times she said to me, "I'm going to pull an all-nighter tonight." Like I did last night. Just go to bed. It's not college, okay? So so we all knew that person. And as a woman in the film industry too, as so many of them are here, that intensity served her really well. She had backbone, she had tenacity, and I've heard more than one person say, "Wow, I'm so glad she was on my side." I didn't want to be on the other side because she always won. And everybody knew that. She also said that she had no ego, and Gwyn said that the cancer had erased that for her. Her only intention was to give back as much as she could with her second lease on life. And all she really wanted to do was help other people in any way that she could, as everyone else has mentioned today, but especially kids. So she would get the biggest smile and her eyes would sparkle when she talked about how the film industry could channel its resources back into helping kids in New Mexico. That was her big dream. And her dear friends who are here today, Dawn and Connie McLeod, shared the same goal, and Gwyn was so happy, so honored, and also just so fulfilled that Dawn and Connie committed to helping Gwyn realize her dream in the year before she died. She welled up with tears once when we were at lunch just a couple of months ago, and she thanked them both for helping her realize her dreams. It meant everything to her. And the McLeods are going to continue to honor Gwyn's legacy by helping kids in her honor. And it's wonderful that they were able to tell her that before she passed, and I'm sure that it gave her some peace. So I am so lucky to have been her business partner and grateful to have been her friend, and I'm going to miss her crazy, running around, getting things done at the last minute, just like Gabriel said, thinking she was talking to me when she was on her stupid headset all the time. I'm like, what are you talking about? What did you say? And then pulling the pencils out of her hair, because she used to put that blonde hair up in the pencils. And I'd be like, "We have 10 minutes to get to a meeting." So she'd whip the pencils out really quick, run out to the car, sprain her ankle on the way out there. I remember, Dawn probably remembers this, she limped into one of our meetings and she had a bag of frozen peas on her. And she hikes her leg up there and puts the peas on, and she's icing her ankle because she twisted it because she was running late for the meeting. Hilarious. Oh, and the putting on makeup and carrying on a meeting on the headset while driving to another meeting. That was classic one. Absolutely classic. Her laughter was absolutely contagious, and she taught us all not to take ourselves too seriously. So these are all the things that I think about, and they make me laugh each time I think of her, but I'm also going to think of her calming smile and her gentle spirit. She was so, so smart and so intelligent, yet she could be so silly, so driven, so determined, so sweet, and so selfless. And I'm so blessed. So thank you, Gwyn. And guess what, girl? Once again, you pulled it off, just like we all knew you would. And before I turn this over to Stephen, I have a letter that I want to read on behalf of the executive producer of Breaking Bad, who she worked very closely with, and that's Ben Skilligan. He's not able to be here today because he's in LA doing editing, and they could not get away. He was able to be with her at her bedside before she passed. So this is the letter that he sent for me to read in his stead. Gwyn Savage had an eye for faces that would have made Fellini proud. That, combined with her utter fearlessness about approaching strangers on the street, means that our show, Breaking Bad, is blessed with some of the best, most unique, and colorful extras ever seen on television. She could recruit them by the busload and on short notice, too. She and her associates, Catherine and Georgina, managed to fill a huge high school gymnasium for our first episode of season 3. I'm still amazed by that. Folks would come out of the woodwork for Gwyn. There's a testament to that today. There's people standing outside, about 10 people deep. There's an old saying that God is in the details. I believe that, and I think Gwyn did too. She knew that even deep in the background, the right face can make all the difference. Gwyn made that difference for us, week in and week out, from her pilot onward. She had a great passion for her job, and she worked hard day and night at it. She was a sweet spirit, who was always a pleasure to be around. And I loved her cowboy hat. Gwyn was the best extras casting person I have ever worked with. I miss her very much. I think I speak for everyone who knew her at Breaking Bad when I say that to us, she was family. Ben Skilligan. And thank you guys for coming today.
The next speaker I actually had not met until the day of Gwyn's death. He came over early, and he told us about a project he was working on called the Devil's Hat Band, and it was a very interesting story. We talked about the background. They went up to Las Vegas and done the research. And when I was going through Gwyn's house, I actually found her Devil's Hat Band book, and there was a couple pictures that fell out, and it just kind of really hit home the story that Stephen had been telling us. So, Stephen, if you'd like to speak. Thank you, by the way.
Hello. I didn't get to know Gwyn as long as I would have liked to, and it's going to be difficult for me to speak this evening, or it's even the day, and I think it's the evening, so that's how messed up I am. All I know is that when I met her, I connected with her instantly. And because of that, because to me, this industry that we work in is not for fame, and it's not for fortune, but what do we do with it? What do we use it for? And she was the first one I got to meet ever that was using it for the same reason I was, and that is to help people and to bring people together. And when I met her, I finally found that leader that we needed in Mexico to make great things happen. I was there that morning, and I was able to tell her that one of the things and one of the programs that we were dreaming on had got funded, and we are starting it at the end of the month. It's the Actors Corps for Youth Development Incorporated. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the Vagino and get the toughest, meanest kids you've ever seen in your life, and we're going to change their lives. And because of that, that makes Gwyn live forever. Because I came here today to celebrate somebody and not mourn anymore. Because today is the day we move on and we heal ourselves. Because for us to be in a state of mourning anymore does her no